Hey, welcome everyone. In this video I'm going to teach you how the internet works. The basics of it at least. Nothing too technical, so don't get intimidated. I think it's pretty important to know because, well, you probably end up using the internet every day. I mean, you're using it to watch this video, for example. So let's begin. Let's pretend you're on your computer, which is a client, and you want to connect to a website such as YouTube.com. YouTube, along with other websites, reside on servers. Servers usually being heavy-duty computers with powerful specs and cooling that can run 24/7 unlike a home computer. These servers are usually in buildings referred to as data centers. These buildings are designed to house servers and networking equipment. They're cold inside to provide adequate cooling to the equipment. They have backup power in case of a power failure. They'll also have special fire prevention methods in place and other contingencies to prevent outages. These website servers also have redundancy backup. So if one server were to fail, it would automatically activate a backup server to take its place. This allows IT specialists to go in and replace or repair those faulty servers without anyone even noticing there's an issue. Now at home, your computer is considered a client, as well as your cell phone, tablet, and yes, even your smart TV that might connect to internet services like Netflix. Continuing with our example, you use your computer's web browser to navigate to youtube.com. In the background, you're actually connecting to one of YouTube's IP address, which is 172.217.168.238 in this example. You see, all websites actually have an IP address, which is a unique identifier. However, IP addresses are difficult for humans to remember. That's where Dynamic Name System, DNS for short, converts IP addresses such as 172.217.168.238 into easy to remember names such as youtube.com. In fact, even the internet service you have at home is providing you with an external IP address. Your external IP address is almost similar to your postal mailing address. It's a unique way for the internet to know where you are. Now, the clients in your home, such as your cell phone, smartphone, and computer, also have IP addresses, but those are being assigned by your router. We'll get more into that later on in the video. At home, when you're trying to reach youtube.com, you're sending a request signal over your internet service provider's infrastructure, ISP for short. But how exactly does that work? From your home, your ISP is sending your request signal over many cables. Nowadays, fiber optic cables that send pulses of light. That light is what's sending the data. These cables usually run underground all over the country and in many cases even underwater. In fact, your signal will probably go across multiple countries and different ISP infrastructure until it reaches YouTube servers or any other website you're trying to visit. In order to do this, your signal will go through the cables and across various routers set up by your ISP. These routers will look at the IP address you're trying to connect to and move you in the right direction. Each time you go through another router, you're making a hop. Don't think of the routers used by ISPs as like your home router. These are super powerful routers dispersed amongst all around the country, and what they're basically doing is allowing your signal to travel all that far distance, because if without the routers in the middle, your signal will probably get cut off because the distance is too far. But these routers also play another pivotal role. They're taking your signal request and routing you in the right direction. Without them, you might go to the wrong website. So if you're trying to get to youtube.com, you might inadvertently go to facebook.com or any other website accidentally. The more distance your signal has to travel and the more hops it has to take, the longer it takes for the signal to get sent to the destination. When the YouTube servers receive your request for data, it then sends the images of the website or video you're watching back to your computer in small chunks of data called packets. These packets travel over the same hops your signal took to get there. Well, let's take another example. What if you live in Europe and you're connecting to youtube.com servers? They're based in the US, so how come the signal is incredibly fast? Well, very large websites such as YouTube, Google, Netflix, Facebook, and so on have multiple servers across multiple data centers across the entire world. So in the example of you living in Europe, you're not connecting to the YouTube servers in the US. You're most likely connecting to a YouTube server that they have somewhere in Europe. Now, technically speaking, you don't need a heavy-duty server or a data center to run a website. In fact, you can stay at home even with your MacBook Air, a simple computer such as that, and make that a website server if you really wanted to. But that's not a good idea for a number of reasons. You see, having a computer like that, if there's a power failure, your website will fail completely. You need some sort of redundancy power in place at your home. You would also need backup internet in case your main internet service goes down. You would need a backup computer in case the main computer, the MacBook Air in this example, were to fail. How come you have multiple devices in the home connecting to multiple websites and services at the same time, but the signals don't clash with one another? That's usually thanks to your home router. In many cases, people usually have a wireless home router. Remember, each device in your home has an IP address, and that IP address is what's assigned by the router and decides where that data should go. For example, to ensure my computer client is connecting to youtube.com and my wife's tablet is connecting to Netflix, our home router ensures each device is connecting to the correct service and we're not clashing signals. That's why you usually pay a monthly bill to your ISP, because you're in a sense renting their service. That in a nutshell is how the internet works. You're now much smarter than a whole bunch of other people that use the internet on a daily basis. And with that said, I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, be sure to check out my social links in the video description. Hit the like button, it does help, subscribe, and thanks for watching.